Okay. Hi, folks. I feel like this is ginormous. And I want it not that way. I think I'm going to let you deal with this because I don't seem to understand. It almost reminds me of trying to figure out direction. Like where I park the car or... Okay. Hi, guys. How are you? I don't think that's bad, actually. I don't want that bushy stuff, like maybe something like that.
Yeah. It's good. You want to pull a bit towards me?
I think, yeah. I think they give me a little room. I feel like I'm getting eaten by a tree.
It's like little shop O'Hara's. Feed me, Seymour.
Try to get centered. Okay. Yeah. I just think like maybe that.
Okay. Love it.
It's always the opposite of what I think, guys. All right. So, if you could let Polly know if you can hear me and see me all right, that would be super helpful. And you guys can start posting your questions. How are you, Paul?
Great, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. So my adorable producer, Paul, will be taking your questions. What we do appreciate is names. It saves on time and allows me to get to your neighbors faster. I try to answer all questions in 3 minutes or less. So that's a lot. Okay, but include names of living or deceased people that you're asking about, as well as the first name is good. As well as the name of any like company or business that you're asking about. If you are uncomfortable posting the name of like your job for obvious reasons, just use the initials. Okay, that's good enough. I do want to announce that your horoscopes for this week are going up tomorrow afternoon. And we have a free mini class coming up Thursday, the 10th at 8 p.m. Eastern, called Fighting the Dark. Now, for those of you who have watched Fighting the Dark before, that's an older video. That was the first free mini class that I ever did. This was back at my shop, and I've decided to redo it. So the idea behind Fighting the Dark is this. Every new level, there's a new devil. So every single time you are about to level up, you're about to access a significant amount of prosperity in your life, you get attacked. So a lot of people say, oh, I have horrible luck, or there's something wrong, or it's bad juju, or it's my karma. It really isn't. It's part of the universal system. And what we're going to do in this class is to break down why it happens, how you can plan for it, and in a lot of cases, how you can even just outsmart the system and prevent it entirely, okay? So join us for that. And then after that, we have level jumping coming up. That's going to be Tuesday, the 15th of December at 8 p.m. I decided to do level jumping because with COVID, I see people doing this so much more than they even used to. And I see people being pushed into these new opportunities, but instead of taking it as an opportunity for growth, they're just trying to level jump. They're just trying to, almost like a dog eat dog type of anxious attitude about climbing the ladder and getting back and not losing their prosperity, and it's like everybody just needs to calm down. We can't level jump at any point in life. And so we're going to be looking at that. We're also going to be looking at level jumping within relationships. You might be doing this in your love life. Not just with your money and career. And a lot of people are doing it with this kind of work, light work, and things aren't working for them. Why does it happen? Sometimes things aren't working for you because you're a level jumper. So we're going to put that into perspective. We have a whole bunch more coming up. I'm not going to go through them all, but the next really important one that I do want to mention before we move on here to the show is what to expect in the upcoming year. So 2021 with Christina Del Rey, our astrologer here at the Ivy League Psychic Academy. She will be giving your annual horoscopes for each zodiac sign. I will be giving your psychic mediumship horoscopes for each zodiac sign. And then we're also going to have her talk about planetary shifts or eclipses, whatever's going on in 2021 that you should be watching out for, and also planetary shifts that you should be maximizing your prosperity on. So get your calendars ready, and I would definitely record this one for yourself. It'll be, published afterward, of course, but you're going to want to have these dates. So that's going to be exciting, and that is on December 29th at 8 p.m. Eastern. So I got a lot of work to do. That's a lot of horoscopes. Okay. All right. So, are we ready to go ahead and get started?
Yes.
We good? Okay, I do want to ask everybody if you could hit that like button. Greatly appreciated. Boom. Okay, if you guys want to leave donations, feel free to do that. It is greatly appreciated. You could also leave donations at IvyRiveraPsychicMedium.com if you don't want to leave them here on YouTube for whatever reason. And if you want to join and become a member, you can hit that join button for like behind the scenes exclusives, bloopers, monthly message that goes directly to you from Spirit when that comes about, extended horoscopes specifically for you, class extras, things like this. Okay. So join the membership. It's pretty awesome. All right. So welcome everyone. I'm Ivy Rivera. I'm a psychic medium, a Taino Arawak, and I own a school called the Ivy League Psychic Academy, where I train people internationally, online, and everything from psychic mediumship development, which starts February 16th, to Reiki, astrology, numerology, tarot, kid classes, adult courses, you name it, we do it. So check it out. We hope to see you for some spiritual and self-development. Today is my weekly Ask Ivy show where I take your personal questions. And Paul, my adorable producer here, will be taking those from the feed. So feel free to start posting if you haven't already.
Yes.
Okay, if you need to book a reading with me, go to IvyRiveraPsychicMedium.com. Okay.
Okay. This one is from Mia.
Okay.
I would like to know how my love life is going with my twin flame, Ramel.
Okay. So what I'm feeling with this relationship is that you're reaching a pivotal point at about 4 months out from now. We would be talking about an opportunity, and you may have noticed this about 4 months into the relationship as well, where we're looking at like themes. Okay. So it's sort of like a revisitation of that. And what happens during a pivotal point is an opportunity, essentially, for the couple to either come closer together or to go further apart. So we're going to be seeing a need for some compromise there. And it isn't necessarily just going to come for him. It's also going to be for you. So you two are going to have to reach a place where you are being very honest about what you have to give, what you're willing to give, what you may be willing to change. And you have to master at that point the balance in that so that neither of you feels like it's an offense to your energy or like you're being disloyal to yourself, like you're sacrificing some authentic piece of yourself that you shouldn't. And if you guys can overcome that, then I do see more longevity there. And if you can't, you may have to either set some boundaries or, decide whether you want to go your separate ways. I think that that's going to be a real life moment. And I think that it's important in all relationships, right? Just to sort of put the romanticizing aside and to be like, okay, this is real. Okay, this has to function in the day-to-day. What are we going to do about it? And so make sure, I feel primarily with you, make sure that you're not sort of stepping down from what you know you want and deserve, and really analyze it, all emotions aside, about what's best for you. Sometimes it's best not to look at the other person and say, what are they doing? What do they want? Where are they taking this relationship? To just step back and say, what do I want? What am I doing? Where are my expectations? Where am I headed? Is this person coming or no? It's a totally different perspective that is going to be coming to the forefront around that time. Okay, but yeah, we'll see what happens. Interesting.
This is Luna Lily.
Okay.
I wanted to ask if my grandma Anna has any messages for me.
Thanks so much for the donations and the memberships, guys. Excited to have you. Luna Lily wants to know if Grandma who?
Anna.
Anna.
Anna, maybe.
Okay, Anna has any messages for her. You guys are very, very similar. I don't know if you're like shorter or she's shorter, but she mentions like being small. And I felt like I was watching you being small. Okay, also. So that's like a reference to you being a child and her seeing you in this childlike way. But the spirit is the same. And so I feel like we've got the same, almost like the eyes or like smiley eyes, you know, the way you guys have the same shape through here. And it matches the spirit. So I feel like you could see someone's soul in their eyes. And you guys feel like sisters, like friends, you know, like comrades. And I think that you have some past life history here as well. So it's a beautiful thing. She says that you're really focused on some things. So I don't know if you're a student or if you're focused on like work that would involve a lot of new territory. It's almost like you're studying something. And I think that this is also symbolic of where you are in your life right now. It's almost like you're studying it and you're trying to get everything to the highest point of prosperity, but sometimes feeling like you don't know exactly where to go or which way you should go or what direction things are taking you in. And she wants you to know that there's a balance. So she shows you like in a boat, and it's like even though the water's kind of rocking the boat, she wants you to know that she's always in the boat with you. Yes, you have to row this thing. Okay, that's your responsibility, but she is there supporting you, and she's there watching for storms or like icebergs on the horizon or anything else. Okay, pirates, she says, like anything else that could create a problem for you, anything she has to warn you about or keep you safe from, protecting. And I think that what's really important right now is that you're kind of going with the flow in life, but you're also really dictating and remembering what it is that you passionately want and deserve. And so don't be too much of a free-floating spirit. You know, don't give up your free will in the place where you are right now. But you're definitely figuring some things out, and you're definitely getting ready for a big I want to say level up in your life, and she could not be more proud of you. Okay. Very sweet.
This is from Calyx Confetti.
Okay.
I've been so stressed lately and stepped away from spirituality. What message are my guides trying to tell me?
That you need to come back to spirituality. You know, I mean, you can't step away from spirituality. This isn't a hobby. This isn't supposed to be a hobby. I know a lot of people portray it that way. Like this is something we go and we get certificates for and then we play spiritualist, but that's not it. These are our roots. We have gotten out of touch with our roots. Okay. So if you're not connecting with your guides every day, if you're not connecting with your higher mind, you're going to get sick and you're going to invite all kinds of problems. It's not an option for us to step away from our spirituality. You are a spiritual creature. You are literally in a meat suit, a spiritual creature. There is no way to leave it behind. But what you can do is to get out of healthy habits. This would be the equivalent of you deciding, you know what? I'm giving up on oral hygiene and physical well-being. So you stop taking your vitamins. You started eating just like Krispy Kreme every day. You stop brushing your teeth. You know, that's not an option either. So we can't do that. And when we start to step away, meaning we're not engaging with our ancestors, our guides, our higher mind on a regular basis, it ends up overwhelming us, especially at night. So when you're sleeping, you're going to feel bombarded. It could turn into things like nightmares between 3 and 5:30 in the morning, the haunting hour. It's going to be super active for you, and it can cause depression and anxiety, ADHD-like symptoms. This is not a safe place to be. So I'm not even going to tell you everything that your guides are saying because that would be inappropriate on my behalf. I have an ethical responsibility to put you back in place with where you belong, and that is connecting with your guides. If you don't know how to do that properly, we have a class called Meet Your Guides. And this is something you should be using every single day of your life. Never say that you've stepped away from your spirituality again. That is not an option. Okay? No. We should be in a constant state of awareness. Mm-hmm. So first things first, go back. And this doesn't mean bombard yourself with certifications and books and crystals. and the cha-cha, it's not about that. It's a simplicity. It's sitting 10 minutes with a cup of coffee every morning with your guides, with your ancestors, what's going on for the day. Just keep it simple. Don't complicate this, okay?
You got a good backup from Bernadette on that one, too.
Yeah, for sure.
She said it's not a hobby.
No.
She's been spending time with her angels and guides every morning, and the more time she gives them, the more they communicate with her through her thoughts.
That's right. And I love the realization, this is for everybody, that those are relationships. We've been trained in our society. We've been trained in pretty much every society around the world to disconnect from those relationships. And then that's what we get out of them. It's no different than you would do with any other person. If you want a productive relationship with the people in your life, you have to invest in it. If you want production in your job or career, you have to invest in it. If you want your body to be healthy, okay, and for well-being for yourself, you have to invest in yourself. This is no different. This isn't it's not a joke, it's not a game, and it's not a freebie. No.
Certainly not.
Not that you were saying it was, whoever I was talking to, right? Calyx, but yeah, definitely we don't want to think in terms of that. It's not an option to step away. People do overdo it though. They just, they do too many things at once, and it's like, none of that's necessary.
Okay, this is from April.
Okay.
She asks, does my dad Thomas regret the way he left things here, and is he trying to fix them from where he is?
He's funny. So you may need to be a little louder. So April wants to know if her father Thomas regrets the way he left things. Is he trying to fix things? I do not feel that he's trying to fix things, but there is a sense of, I almost want to say he's maybe a little bit egotistical. Yeah, he's egotistical. So he is, and you have to understand this. He's showing this to me because this is how he was. He is not able to carry that with him into the light. So he's not still working from that place, but it would have been ego that caused these issues. And so he is owning that, apologizing for that, taking responsibility for that. And that's huge. Now, when I'm talking about ego, I'm talking about fear. I'm also talking about control, manipulation, things like this. And a lot of times what people with ego do is they just don't want to deal with things. So it's like detaching and being absent, from what they need to invest in. But he is really not able to fix a lot of what's going on. And so he also makes me feel like his hands aren't in all of those situations. Some of them are no longer a concern to him. And some of them are being taken too far by the people left behind here that feel like they're cleaning up the messes. So some of that stuff should be let go of. But there are other aspects, and that has more to do with like your mental and emotional well-being, your self-development, your capability, your self-esteem. There are other areas that he is helping you with. Absolutely. So I think he is, but not in the way that you think. And I think that in the areas where you guys are expecting him to like deal with stuff, he's just not, because it's not of importance anymore. Okay. And so you'll have to have more conversations with him about that. All right. But know that he does love you, and know that he really does claim that part of his personality that led to not just some of the stuff you're referring to, but kind of a lot of things that are, he makes me feel like generational issues. And I feel like this was handed down to him also. Okay. But he really hopes he knows that this can stop with you. Okay. So I don't think you will be handing this down to the next generation. And there's a lot of pride in that. Okay. Good. He loves you very much.
This one's from Kayla.
Okay.
Does my dad Philip have any messages for me?
He's funny. Talk about polar opposites, these two. They're like similar energy in the banter, but like totally different. What is her name? Kayla?
Yes.
Okay. And what's his name? Philip?
Philip. It's
pretty hilarious. So yeah, he comes in here pretty talkative, just kind of directive, sort of, making, I don't know what he's making jokes at, they get it. I'm not listening, but anyways, he's very much like, I feel like intellectual and sort of analytical about things. And I feel that he would have some great advice, to give you. I feel that he would have been interesting. Give this guy a couple drinks, it's going to get pretty philosophical or in depth, or he may think he knows things he doesn't know. He's just kind of comical to me. I think that he's trying to direct for you, but he also makes me feel like, and I think you should watch for any kind of work change or financial changes in major situations. Okay, they're in your life right now or over the course of the next, like probably month to 4 months. This could be a week to 4 weeks where it starts to show itself, but I still feel like it's going to take about that process. A month to 4 months, one to 4 months. And he says that, okay, I get it. Okay. So I am directing you on how to navigate this. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm just going to show you if you're wrong. Okay. And it's sort of like you have to kind of like, not that, no. And then you say, well, what about this? And if you hear nothing, you're probably on the right track. So he communicates, in a very specific way that I see certain spirits use, where they only really show up to be directive when it's super important. So you may not be hearing from him all the time willy-nilly. He's very particular about his communication, so that he can help you to achieve in life what you're supposed to. But the other way he communicates is through like technology. He's also pointing at the flowers a lot. I don't know what kind of flowers exactly. Maybe the red or the whites. So be watching for those. Red is going to be a birthday or an anniversary right around this time. White is also healing. So keep that in mind, or it could mean you didn't get a proper goodbye with him. So also know that. But he is talking about messing with your technology a lot. So when he's doing that, it could be more like a hello, letting you know that he loves you. He's supporting you. Okay. He puts a blanket around you, and I feel like he's joking that he knitted this or he crocheted this. I highly doubt it. But he makes me feel like he's wrapping you. That's a sign of comfort and protection. All right. So he just loves you very much. And he keeps tapping the top of your head, which is also meaning that like you're very mediumistic right now. So you just had some type of an awakening go on, and now you're channeling. Okay. So you may want to check out some of the free mini classes here and get into it. Okay.
Ooh, very fun.
Yeah. Crown chakra. That's your crown chakra, if you don't already know that. Okay. And that's where channeling happens. So some stuff going on. Mm-hmm.
Okay. We have one from Renee.
Okay.
It says, is there someone in my home trying to communicate with me? Things are falling, and something just flew off my desk as I joined this live show.
Well, I do see what looks to me like a child, and I do see what appeared to be a lady coming through from, I guess if I'm in like the kitchen, I'm looking from the left side of the house in. So it's not the entire house. I'm under the impression that this person may feel very connected to the land itself. And I would wonder what was there previously. So what's this girl's name?
Renee.
Oh, okay. So anyways, we would want to sit, I think it's time for you to sit with it, is how I feel about it. And if you can sit with the energy and you can say, I feel comfortable with this. This is okay. We can live in harmony. But I'm going to set up some ground rules. So be it. If you feel that you don't care for this much energy being in your house and you want to let them know that it's time to go, it's become disruptive, then they have to do that. And, you will have to do the cleansing. So we have a class up on the website called Hauntings, Clearings, and Detachments that will train you in how to do that. Now, we have a free class. I'm not saying that's going to cover everything, okay? But we have a free one up here called Clearings, or How to Clear, something like that. If you have any more issues, I would say book a paranormal consultation with me. I'm not in love with the energy. I think that it's less about communicating with you in a productive way, and it's more about being disruptive. And so those are not my favorites. And I think it is important that we live in community, but I also think it's important to have boundaries with those that we live in community with. And it's time, in my opinion, to set some.
Okay.
I also don't trust anything that looks like a child. Okay. I don't see a ton of kids that are actually kids. So I don't care for that. Yeah.
It's like deceptive to the max.
They're called shapeshifters. Yeah. It's not right.
Okay, we have one from Shante.
Mm-hmm.
Does my great-grandmother Annette have any messages for me and our family?
Ooh, so she is bold, and she makes me feel like she had some abilities that she would have used, whether it be herbal or she also shows me jars or cans. So I don't know if that was passed down to her and she didn't do it, but she watched it, or she actually did it too, which is a different thing. Okay, that's just about like farming or canning your food. But I feel that she's talking about the herbal stuff, and she's talking about like food as medicine. And so there's a lot of history here with her past life and in this life. And I feel that you would have spent time with her also doing this, where you guys understood things like shamanism, or, you know, in this life, maybe it could look like maybe you're really drawn to nutrition or juicing, or, you know, you don't care for like big pharma. You don't want to get tied up with medications and all of that. Like, you believe that there is a healthier way to live. Okay. And plants also, you know, as being medicinal, things like marijuana as being like medicinal and a cure for a lot of things. There seems to be an understanding there. She's also incredibly intuitive. And even though she may have been like deeply religious or deeply spiritual in some way, I feel that you guys have this connection, and that is trusting in the Holy Spirit. And so, yeah, there's a lot there. Messages for you or the family. So she wants you to, you know that she's guiding you through this process as you get more into it. So I don't know if you started doing like, whether it be tarot reads, this may not be something she would have ever done, you know, but they see things differently on the other side. Or you giving like even medical, intuitive, or psychic readings and things like this, you would be good at this. She makes me feel that as far as the family is concerned, there's a female who, I wasn't sure if this was your mom, but I feel like an older female who needs to know that she's around. Give a red rose also. That's a carnation. I don't know why I'm pointing, because it's red. But that is a birthday or an anniversary right around this time. There also seems to be a male that we're supposed to say that to, who's a bit older, birthday or anniversary also for him right around this time. And there seems to be someone causing trouble in the family, and I can't tell if this is someone who's just wild and defiant, or if they're wild and defiant and also turning toward toxic habits, almost like, you know, drugs and alcoholism. But it feels, she just uses the word destructive. Okay, and it's all right now about boundary setting, because this person seems very much up in this space, and sometimes it's hard. You know, it's hard to say to somebody, I'm sorry, but don't bring your toxic nonsense in here like that. Okay, especially when like they live there or it's the holidays, but boundaries do need to be set one way or another, and everyone's going to be figuring that out. She's helping with that as well. She loves you very much. She just put like red lipstick on you. And it's just talking about you shining, okay? And I feel like also you in communications, telling people what they need to do or where things need to go, you shining, okay? Shining out in the public eye or at work. Very good. She loves you very much. She blows you a kiss. I do think my cats are scratching at the door to get in. Did you hear that?
I will go check in
1 second. You want to give me one and then go check on them? Okay.
Yes. Shantae was really into that one. Yes, you nailed her.
She's cute.
Okay. Taylor is asking, should I stay in Texas, or would I be better off where I am going, to Utah?
All right. Well, let's take a look at both of these. Taylor, Texas or Utah? I feel like you're done with Texas. So whenever I'm looking at a potential move, the first thing I would want to see to know if it's time is whether or not you still have roots in that place. And when we look at Texas, you do not have roots anymore. And if we think of us as being a tree, if you saw a tree that looked okay, but it had no roots, it was essentially dead, or it was going to die. It could no longer absorb nutrition from the earth, and therefore it could not have prosperity for much longer. So we know that your roots have dried up in Texas. There was a time and a place for you to be there. That's all you really need to know. Now, I guess the question becomes, okay, well, then where do I go? Utah is an option. I'm not in love with the idea. I think that for you, there is a little bit of a desire to get in touch maybe with the land there. And I think that that could be past life influence, where you want to, I'm not saying you want to go out and become a farmer per se, but I do feel that the lay of the land and the ability to sort of connect with the earth in the way Utah can provide for you is going to help you to tap into some of those lessons in self-development, but it doesn't feel very long-lived. So I would just do this. You feel that you want to go. It does look like you have some roots there. I would not be surprised, though, if you were there for about 3 years and then you started to feel like you wanted to transition. So whether it's transitioning into another piece of property or actually leaving the state, be fluid. But no, Texas is done. You are right on the money on timeline here. That's good.
Excellent. Perfect time to take a quick break here. I want to, Mia and Luna Lily, April May, all thank you so much. April said when you channeled her dad, yeah, he's always in my dreams lately. Like he's trying to explain things to me and why it was left the way they were. And Kayla and Renee said thank you so much. And Kayla just popped in with thank you. And I want to thank Jeanette, our newest member. Thank you for your membership.
Wonderful. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Yes, you're very welcome.
Really awesome.
Okay.
Okay, this one is from Princess Nee. And she asks, I'm starting a podcast soon. Can I please get your insight into this? And the podcast will be called Enlighten Up.
So the first thing that I'm seeing is you kind of writing on a material. And so it seems like it sort of starts with a bang. And then it's like, okay, wait, where is this going to go? And then I saw you bringing people in to, I'm assuming these are like interviews, or these would be people who want to speak on their expertise, people who want to talk about enlightenment from different angles, spiritual development, energetic development. Some of it even looks like health and wellness, which is a little bit more mainstream. Or maybe you're pushing like the holistic agenda. Some of it appears to be like Reiki or energy work. There just seems to be a lot going on. And so I think that here's what I want to say about that. It's really important that if you're going to build something successfully, it is done in such a way where you are consistent and it is to the point. And I think that you're going to do well up against, let's say, other shows that are similar, if you can do that. But I see a lot of instances where it's almost like that could get lost, like six different times in the first like year of it, where that could sort of get lost. So just make sure, you're bringing your A game, you're doing it when you said you would, but that also people who you bring on, this is going to sound terrible, but make sure that it's not just babbling about a bunch of garbage, okay? Because I swear to God, people love to hear themselves talk, and it is the most boring nonsense, especially in this field. It's like, oh my God, stop talking. They will just hours about nothing. I don't know how anyone can listen. And I think that what's good as, let's say you're the interviewer, okay, is to have like a list. Like we are talking about this list. I think the error a lot of people make is that they just go on air and they don't have a game plan. And don't let this thing go off the rails, and I think it'll go well. Yeah.
That's great advice.
Yeah.
A lot of times we go into something unscripted, like, oh, I know what I'm talking about, and then you just
Nobody wants to hear that unscripted nonsense. Nobody wants to hear that. And don't forget that people just want to hear about themselves. They don't want, the people you bring onto the show to talk, they don't want to hear about them. They don't want to hear about them. They want to hear what this person can offer them. They don't actually want to hear about them, okay? And I think that's something else that gets lost in this field. Too many people want to chit-chat about themselves. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to hear it, okay? So keep it focused on the audience awareness at all times, and I think you'll do well. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. It's like a 1-year process. You hit those 6 tests in the first year to a year and 3 months, I would say. And then it's like smooth sailing.
Good.
Okay.
We have one from our newest member, Jeanette.
Okay.
She asks, are Josh and I meant to be?
Not so much. When we talk about relationships being meant to be, that's not so much a written thing. There is no relationship that is meant to be. we only have degrees of connectivity. And the highest degree of connectivity is something called chords. We have a class up on the website called Relationships, Boundaries, and Chord Cutting. We have another one up on the website called Karma Contracts and Past Lives. These break down the different connections that we have with people. This one doesn't have anything like that. So straight out of the gate, it doesn't probably hold longevity potential. But what was the question? Are we meant to be? Okay, but, you know, I would say that even for the people who do have the chords, like you meet a soulmate, and then, like, even then, it's not necessarily meant to be. It depends on how much effort you guys put into it. So technically, every love affair breaks down into a free will zone. So it's up to free will. He would have to put in all the effort that it's going to require. You would have to put in all the effort that it's going to require. We have to have two people with a growth mindset. They have to be willing to work on themselves in advance and fulfill their life contract in order for things to work. And this one just feels young to me. This feels sort of immature and based on what makes me feel good as an individual. Okay. And you may both be thinking that in different ways and not completely realizing it. It doesn't go very far. There's not a lot of gas in the tank there, so probably not so much. But I think there's a lot of good stuff for you to look at in this. Like, what are you attracted to? How does it make you feel? And more importantly, how does it not make you feel? When this makes you not feel good, why is that? And don't ever accept that again. Okay?
This is from Tiara.
Okay.
Will I be taking my trip at the end of the month to Chicago, and will it end up in a relationship?
Well, I'm hearing 2 weeks, and I do see a plane, and will it end up in a relationship? I think it could. This person seems to, like, the trip seems to be on track. The plane seems to be on track. The blanket or whatever you're putting over yourself, so whether you're traveling in the car or you're traveling by plane, that seems to be on track. But this other person's consistency doesn't always seem to be on track. And so I'm kind of wondering if there's going to be like a back and forth in like the schedule or this other person. But I think that there is the potential for this to go through. And I think that if we have that serious conversation where you're saying, so how are we feeling about this? Or like, what's the next step? Or it's just sort of like, I don't know. I just see you sitting on a couch, like it blatantly sort of coming out. And it feels to me like it's a revisitation of a conversation that already happened. So it's very possible that this is almost like a job interview, it's like, it's basically decided, but we have to go through the motions or something. It's very possible that you guys have already basically decided on this, but this is like a formality. And I think that there is potential here. I just keep seeing a lot of white blankets, a lot of white couches, a lot of white leather, a lot of white. And I'm not saying that's like this person's furniture or what you're literally, putting on you. Could be, but it's usually symbolic of like purity. It's symbolic of a brand new beginning. Or when we talk about washing something out, like white is a blank slate. I think there's potential here. As long as we can get past that sort of back and forth issue. That could be going on like right before the scheduled time. Okay, so yeah, we'll see. Interesting.
A lot of moving questions tonight.
Yeah, everybody's moving.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's moving. Okay.
This one is from Cherie.
Cherie, okay.
Why is Tommy popping in and out of my life? Is he my soulmate?
You know what he reminds me of a little bit? Somebody who needs things and then like comes to get what he needs and then like leaves and then like comes to get what he needs and then leaves. It's sort of like, it's like fill my trick or treat, and then you're like, okay, here's a pumpkin and here's some mallow cups and, and then he kind of goes and eats it and then he comes back for more. It just seems like, I don't know that he's really dedicated. He seems childlike. That's a good, he seems childlike. And like everything to him is, whether it's like cat and mouse or trick or treat or sort of like a joke. I think also why, what's with the Halloween references that like this is coming from your spirit guides. Masks, what do we do on Halloween? We kind of dress up as something else, or we want to present as something else, right? We want to showcase as something else in order to get what we want. I'm just not really under the impression that his true character underneath, when matched with yours, shows a ton of consistency for the future. Is there some past life history there? I think there is that. I don't know that this would really equate a ton to like soulmate connection that could function in the day-to-day. It would appear that he has possibly let you down in a past life. And is she laughing, or are you just laughing? This is not funny. We are not.
No.
I don't know what he's laughing at. I'm not laughing at this.
I was laughing.
You're naughty. Okay, but he's laughing at something else. But I think that sometimes when we look at the connection between someone where we feel comfortable and we feel like they sort of invigorate us, right, and they raise our energy and we enjoy being around them, and there's that sort of passion, that connection. Sometimes there is past life history, but we want to rewrite the ending. We want to make it something more than what it is. But I think that due to his immaturity level, he's not really able to like step in and be that person for you. Not yet, at least. And I think that he may have let you down in the past. And it's very possible that part of the reason he's here now is to sort of compensate for that, but he really doesn't seem to know how. He doesn't seem to be good on the delivery. And that has everything to do with a karmic contract, meaning debt. So, what I would say with this one, pay up or shoo, get out of the way. It's just not a ton of benefit. It's more like benefit for him, and it's supposed to be benefit for you. I just don't see it happening.
Okay. This one is from Natalka.
Okay.
Was my move to Georgia the right thing to do?
I don't feel like forever. So there's talk of, 2 months. It's possible that about 2 months ago, you maybe even 2 months in, you would have realized that maybe this wasn't a forever thing, or this wasn't like going to be a long-term thing, or maybe it feels a bit like a mistake. I think that what the universe is doing with you and what your higher mind is doing with you is not letting you get too comfortable, because a lot like, who were we reading earlier? Tiara or Tyler or somebody? I don't know. Taylor was asking, is it Chicago or is it Utah? Or something like this. I don't really remember. Don't pay any attention. But, there were other questions where everyone's moving right now. Part of what's happening is that we're often transitioned to another place that's sort of like an in-between place. It's a stepping stone, and we want to make it more than what it is. But we want to be fluid in every move that we make. Even when we're looking at purchasing property and things like that, be fluid. It's just a house. It's not your forever home. Everything is just an investment in time. So I think if you were to seriously ask what you went to Georgia for, did you get it? How long do you want to do this dance? You would be able to say, it's about a 2-year process, and then it seems to be over and transitioning you on to something else. Yeah, that's how that looks to me.
We have one from Madison.
Did I miss something?
No.
Did you say?
Did I say?
Oh, I thought you bumped fingers.
Oh, no.
Okay.
This one's from Madison. It says, I want to know if my great-grandmother Estelle has any messages for me and if she's at peace.
Okay. Thank you, Boo Bear, for the donation. Okay, so Madison wants to know, Estelle, is she at peace? Well, she's certainly at peace. She's, very busy. They over there aren't really sort of still and calm, and it's not as much peace as maybe we think. It's peace in the heart and peace in the mind. But there's a lot of work. Work continues, life continues. And so she's a very busy lady. I feel that a lot of the work she's doing is close to what she would have been doing here on Earth. So your grandmother has a couple different things going on. She can really dictate. She could be directive. She could be type A. She's incredibly skilled in detail. So I don't know if she's like Virgo, if she had a lot of Virgo in her personality or what's going on here, but she seems to be able or Gemini, it's like her mind's always going, and she seems to pick out detail. She seems to be able to better things or do things perfectly. And so other people may have come in and it would have been like, no, it's okay, I got it, thanks. Or she has to go back over their work. And she's sort of doing this with your life. And so when I see her coming in and watching over you, she has a way of staying behind you and watching what you're doing. And I feel like if you're getting it right, she pulls her energy back and she just sort of gives you nods. This could be coming through as feathers, this, especially white ones. This could be coming through, and some that look like half gray, okay, or like two-toned. And sometimes she's using birds to let you know that she's around. In particular, I guess they're cardinals and like maybe like woodpeckers or some kind of bird with something sticking out of the top of its head. And I feel that when you're not maybe getting things, she steps in a bit closer to remind you to turn your head. It's almost like keep your chin up, but take your mind off of things, because she said what you do is you worry about things. You get into negative cyclical patterns of left brain logical thinking and you obsess over things. And so you don't know when to just let something go. You don't know when to say, okay, I've done everything I can. Serenity prayer, let go, let God, let the universe do its part. It's not all on you. And that's what she wants you to understand right now in your life, is that it isn't all on you. Do your part and then take care of yourself. Enjoy your life. Smile even when things aren't exactly the way you want. And that doesn't mean go around faking it or be like hyper optimistic like some people are, like crazy. They're like, it's great, everything's great. You don't have to go there. It's about being like, in faith and just contented, basically trying to get your mind off of it and doing things to pamper yourself. Okay, that's healthy positivity, in my opinion. And she is helping you to get those things during that time, and just wants you to know that she's supporting you. I don't know too if you have if this is your mother, this is your sister, but I feel you're around another female who kind of does the same thing. And I think this is almost like a generational situation. We like to control everything, and it's like we're also learning. That person is also learning. Okay, in changes in circumstances right now, how to sort of let go. But she loves you very much. Very busy lady. Which kind of mocks everything she just said, right? Because she doesn't know how to sit still either, but it's definitely hereditary. But you guys could rule the world. She's very proud of you. Okay.
This is from Gina.
Okay.
Has my mom, Betty, been trying to send me a message?
She says that she's been sending you numbers, and I don't think you've been looking them up, or you're not reading them right. So I don't know if you went to the wrong. Sometimes you go to like a Google site and you can get different, answers. She shows me playing cards, like a deck of cards, and she throws down a number 4, a number 5, and a number 7 in that order. So let's break these down. We have a numerology class up here on the website. Okay, so you can always check that out if you want to learn more about numerology. And when we talk about the number 4, all right, so here's what she's trying to show you. And you would be seeing these in number patterns. When you see it, I don't think for you should be adding them all together. So keep that in mind. Try to break them up separately. It's about wherever you are in your development right now, and they will change. Number 4 means you have major change going on in an area of your life. And in that particular area, you are being supported by her, by your ancestors, by your guides. They are supporting you through the change and the transition. 5 is going to mean that you have a ton of change going on in multiple areas of your life. It's basically like a complete, life level up, but sort of a phoenix from the ashes scenario where you have to also detox a lot and let go of things that are no longer serving you or are holding you back. And the number 7 has to do with truths being revealed. So it's very possible that the order that these messages have been going in from her were 4, 7, and 5, because originally that's what I saw. And when we see truths being revealed, sometimes that has to happen. Things have to come to a head. Skeletons in the closet have to come to the surface. Things have to be sort of exposed so that you see and hear clearly what you're dealing with. And then the big change comes in all areas. Okay. So the 7 seems to bounce a little bit, but it does seem to me that you're still figuring some things out. I do feel that you're going through these big transitions and she is there with you. And the important thing to do is to not hold on to anything that needs to go at this time. She loves you very much, very much.
Okay, this is from Boo Bear. Should I stay in Florida or go back to Maryland?
I'm not in love with either of these options. I don't think you are either. You know, I'm almost just wondering if, like, I think Maryland would be a transitional situation. There's nothing wrong with that. We talked about this with 2 other people tonight. I don't know why we're all, like, in these weird transitional spots. Probably, like, the awakening and, you know, we'll look at the 2021 astrology here in a couple weeks when we do the class on 2021. And everybody should listen for their zodiac signs. Sun, moon, and rising. Okay, but my feeling with it is that it really wouldn't last for more than a year if you were to do Maryland. It's almost like you're going there just to tie up some loose ends, or you're going there just to sort of get your feet in the water, or you're going there to catch your breath. You're going there as like a detour. It's like you're going there to regroup, but it doesn't feel real to me. And whenever something doesn't feel real, I know that it's because there are no roots in that place, and so you can't reap very much from it. Everything you're going to reap from that atmosphere is sort of like triggered by people outside of you, and then it's mostly introspective work. So how does that apply to where you're going? But I do feel that you could get your head in order a lot easier there, and I feel that you could come up with your new game plan, which would probably bring you, I keep feeling the West Coast with you. And so if we were to stay in Florida, I think you would be doing basically the same thing. I think that if you were to stay in Florida another like 6 months, you know, maybe a year or so, you would be, they keep saying like 6 to 8 months, that it would basically be the same process where you're sort of regrouping and you would be figuring out where to go next. So I feel like Florida is done, and I feel like Maryland is just about done. Any visitations back to Maryland after that, it's like, you know, purely pleasure, and they feel very short. Okay, like even shorter intervals than that. But yeah, I feel the West Coast with you in a big way. Okay.
Okay, you had some good things coming in, and when I caught you off guard by laughing, it was the feed. There was Bernadette got me in trouble, but they were talking about how much they like the way you deliver your messages, and you're being funny tonight, and you know, straight dope, no BS. I saved you a clip of it.
Awesome.
So Shantae said, thank you so much. I'm in tears. Princess Nee and Cherry and Natalkal said, thank you. And Madison said, thank you so much. You're amazing. You made me so happy. And Boo Bear said, thank you. And Bernadette said she loves the curls. Ivy is a great look.
Oh, thank you so much. This is the natural look. It's my summertime look. So, yeah, you guys, it was a really fun show. I feel like, you know, everybody's in so much change and transition right now. I was feeling that. It's kind of interesting to see it coming to the forefront. I think something that's really important for all of us to do right now is to just focus on where we're going, not where we were, and to hold on to these ideas, even if some of them aren't here yet, you know, they're just ideas of positivity of what we're building, not what we have to release. Okay. Forget the past, full steam ahead. We are in maximizing time right now. So where I say like prosperity times 10, and things are moving much quicker in 2020, things sped up than what they had been in previous years. So maximize, move like a freight train. Don't be scared. Okay. Thanks so much for all the lovely compliments, the donations, and the great questions. Okay, I want to say thank you, members. Jeanette Guerrero, Jamie Joe, Colleen Kasiba, Heather Fitzgerald, Camille Wolf, Dakota Miller, Julie Campbell, the Quantum Empress, Donna Hauser, Katie Vagavelio, Amanda Hebert, Amy Nicole, Mary Hodgson, Cheryl Gottman, Lori Filon, Candace Kempton, Angelica Pilar, Gloria Augusto, Vanessa Dempsey, Carrie Watson, Chicken Mama, Jill Marie, and Bernadette Ruoff. If you guys want to become a member, hit that join button for all kinds of extras. And your horoscopes are going up tomorrow afternoon. I will see you guys back here next week, but we have the free mini class is Thursday, correct?
Yep.
And that is Fighting the Dark. New level, new devil. How to know what kind of attacks are going to come up against you every time you level up and how to get past them faster. Thanks so much. Thank you, Paulie.
You're very welcome.
Thank you, Spirit. Have a good night, everybody. Let me give this back to you before I forgot.